Welcome everyone to week 4 of the AAF Simulated on EA Sports, and today we've got a really good matchup to kick off the week between the undefeated 3-0 Salt Lake Stallions. They're hosting the 2-1 Orlando Apollos, two of the better teams here in this league, and it should be a good one as we welcome you right now to Salt Lake. Hometown Stallions getting ready to go, and here they opened up their home games with a win against Arizona 15-9. It was a tough one. It was a battle, very defensive battle back and forth, but they came out on top 15-9. Back in week 1, they beat Arizona 38-6, so they swept them. In week 2, they won as well against Birmingham 28-14. Here in week 4, going up against Orlando. Orlando 2-1. They've had an interesting couple of weeks. They opened up winning 30-9 against Atlanta. Then they had a heartbreaking loss to San Antonio, a game that they should have won. And they just had that crazy PI call at the end. They lost that. Then last week, they should have lost to Memphis, but somehow came away with a win, 18-17. So they're 2-1 the season. And right now, if they could get a huge, kind of almost an upset win on the road here, they'll set themselves up nicely and 3-1 in the AAF East. But this is going to be a good game between two teams that have pretty solid defenses and offenses that are both very good in their own ways. So looks like Salt Lake will be getting the ball first, and I believe that's what's going to happen, and it is. So Elliott Fryon to send it away for Orlando, and they'll boot it away. Back to receive Brandon Oliver, who had a kickoff return for a touchdown in week 2, but he takes a knee there, and out comes Josh Woodrum, the signal caller for the Salt Lake Stallions. And let's take a look at how things have been going for him on the season. 45 of 80, only 56% completion percentage, 674 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. The interesting thing, though, is that through the first couple of weeks, his rating was much higher than it is. I mean, against Birmingham, 96.3, and against Arizona in week 1, 119. But he was struggling last week. 1st and 10 from the 25. They go on the ground as Matt Asiata, who gets the first carry, takes it to 28. So we're going to get a quick look right now at this Salt Lake offense. And they've got some really, really good players. Joel Bunyan, one of the best running backs in this league, is because of that offensive line. Bunyan on the season, 44 carries, 241 yards, and a touchdown through 3 weeks of action. Those are some pretty impressive stats. And the wide receivers, I mean, they've got a lot of guys that can make plays. Adonis Jennings, 217 yards. Nick Truzel, 207 yards. You got DeMornay Pearsonell with a couple of touchdowns on the season as well. A lot of talent for Josh Woodrum, and we'll see what he can do with it here in this big game against Orlando. 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go on a delayed give, and I think that's Brandon Oliver who gets the carry. No, it's Bunyan, excuse me. Takes it up to the 34. Salt Lake's got that mix of Brandon Oliver, Matt Asiata, and Joel Bunyan. To bring up a big 3rd and 1 here to start this game. Salt Lake's offense has been pretty solid through the first 3 weeks. They struggled somewhat against Arizona last week, especially on 3rd downs. Let's see if they can come out and avoid a 3-and-out to start this ball game. Probably expect to see Bunyan get it up the middle. See what Dennis Erickson decides to call. On the ground it is Bunyan. He's got a big hole. Joe Bunyan off to the races. Deep into Orlando territory. What a run from Bunyan on 3rd and 1. That sets him up to the Apollos 44. Big time play. And look at this. This offensive line, we've been talking about them all season long. Look at the hole that Bunyan has to run through. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that to pick up a 1st down. And even though Josh Woodrum has been playing pretty solid this season, his stats would not be nearly as good as they are if it wasn't for this run game between Matt Asiata and Joel Bunyan and this offensive line that really, Salt Lake, they're just running smash-mouth football. It's working to perfection. Off-play action, Woodrum to throw for the first time. Goes to the sidelines and misses his man. It's incomplete in the direction of Tanner Baldery. And now we're going to get a look at the Apollos defense. Got some big guys up front. Earl Okine, Leon Orr, Giorgio Newberry. The linebackers, though, let's take a look at these guys. Ryan Davis, Terrence Garvin, Reggie Northrup, and Azim Victor also making his name known. We got Marquez White, Will Hill, Cody Riggs there in the secondary. Lots of big names in this Orlando defense. So far, they've had a hard time stopping this run early on in the game. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Stallions. Dennis Erickson, head coach of Salt Lake Stallions, and he's been doing a great job with his team so far. 3-0. I mean, can't have a better start than that to the first 3 weeks. So let's see what they do here on 2nd and 10. And off-play action. Woodrum back to throw. He's going to let it rip deep across the middle and knocked away Almost intercepted. Dangerous throw. That's a big-time break up there by that defense. I think that was Cody Riggs and Mark Myers in there. Made a nice play. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and 10 right now for Salt Lake. And, you know, they were doing really well with the run. But on this series right now, no carries. And it sets them up 3rd and 10 where they're in a position where they pretty much have to throw the football. Let's see what Josh Woodrum can come up with for the Stallions. Big blitz from Orlando. Lets it go, and it's incomplete. That's tough. He had Nick Truesdell going across the middle. And so far, this game, he has been struggling with his accuracy. And it's something that we saw last week against Arizona. Even though they won the game 15-9, he was 14 for 35. Not a very good stat line there when it comes to completion. And so far to start this game, 0 for 3. 3 incompletions in a row, and Dennis Erickson's squad is going to have to punt, and he's not too happy about that. Austin Recco on to punt it away, and this is what Orlando's going to need to see. Good coverage, and then forcing Woodrum to make tough throws. Recco punts it away. Not a very good punt at all. Fair catch made by Jalen Marshall at the 20, and out comes Orlando. Garrett Gilbert. This guy has been a stud in this league. One of the best quarterbacks, holding the highest rating right now, I think. 57 to 70, 633 yards, 7 touchdowns, QB rating of 137.7. I mean, you really can't ask for much more from your starting quarterback. Throughout every game, he's been consistent, not throwing any picks, and that's what you got to see from your starting signal call. Let's see what Steve Spurrier wants to call on 1st down. From their own 20, Gilbert will throw. Let's it rip to the sidelines. It's caught. It's a gain of about 4 on the play. That's Akeem Hunt out of the backfield, and let's take a look at this Orlando offense. They have one of the best offenses in this league. The line, they've been playing phenomenal this year, and there's a reason why. Dearness Johnson leading the league right now. 54 carries, 277 yards and touchdown. And you got guys like Charles Johnson, who's got a few touchdowns already. You got Jalen Marshall, who's got a few touchdowns. And while these guys, they don't necessarily have the highest yards as opposed to some of the other receivers, but getting the job done offensively. And the one big thing for Orlando this game, they have to score touchdowns. They didn't in week 1. The last 2 weeks, they have struggled to put in the end zone, and they've hurt because of it. Johnson with his first carry of the game, and it's a big 1st down. Barreling over Greer Martini for a pickup of 9. Up to the 33, and that's a nice run for Johnson. Someone who's been playing well week in and week out. Last week he had his first 100-yard game against Memphis. He was a big part of that win. These Apollos getting things going early with a couple nice plays, and see if they can put together a drive. And again, going back to what I said, in week 2, they only scored 18 points. Week 3, again, 18 points because they keep having to kick field goals. They have to be able to put it in the end zone more often. Quick screen, it's complete. That's a nice gain out to the 46. Another 1st down. It goes to Charles Johnson, one of Gilbert's favorite targets. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 from their own 46. And Steve Spurrier, I like what he's doing so far. The Apollos are very, very effective when they just mix it up nicely between the pass and the run game. When Gilbert gets simple, easy throws off, makes things very easy for this Orlando Apollos offense. 1st and 10 coming out from the 46. On the ground, Johnson, big hole! Again for Dearness Johnson, all the way to Salt Lake's 46. And, you know, this is going to be one of those games where you have both of these teams trying to run it down the throat of the other squad. And so far, both teams doing well with the run. Where Orlando also doing well with the pass so far. Brings up 2nd and 1. Getting close to field goal range already. See what Steve Spurrier wants to do on 2nd and 1. Just a bit past midfield is Charles Johnson in motion. He doesn't get it. Gilbert fakes it to him. He's pressured, and he is going to go down. Big time sack. That's Carter Schultz. One of the best, arguably the best end in this league. My goodness. What a play he just made. 7-yard sack and pushes them all the way back into their own territory. And it's just one of those plays. He just comes around pretty much unblocked. It's a miss from that offensive tackle. And Gilbert just doesn't see him coming. I mean, it's not necessarily Gilbert's fault. He's coming completely from the blind side. And it's just the speed and agility of Schultz to get right around the left tackle. Brings up 3rd and 8 now. Big 3rd down for Orlando, who also had a pretty good drive going, but they might stall out. We'll see. They've been up and down on 3rd downs this season. Let's see what they can pull off here. Motions Johnson out of the backfield. Gilbert back to throw with time. Pulls it across the middle. He got a man open. It's complete. Chris Thompson all the way down to the 28. Big reception, and this drive keeps moving for the Orlando Apollos. That's a big pickup, and that's exactly what you want to see your quarterback do. Step back in the pocket, and then drive it across the middle. Perfect throw to Thompson. I mean, there's a bunch of Stallions right around him, but it's a great job by Thompson just hitting that dig route when he needs to, picking up a big first down for the Apollos. Set up nicely now inside the 30. They've been really solid on their opening drives in games. Touchdown in week 1, touchdown in week 2, and then field goal last week. See what they can come up with on their opening drive here. 1st and 10 now from Salt Lake's 28. All receivers spread wide. Gilbert back to throw. He's got time, but he's got to get rid of the football, and he's not! And guess who it is? Carter Schultz with his 2nd sack of this drive. And that's the one thing that Gilbert has really struggled with, getting rid of the football. He's not sensing the pressure. He's backing away from it, but just losing more yardage and not throwing the ball away. This is a terrible decision by Gilbert, which borderline pushes them out of field goal range right now if they can't find a way to pick up a first down. Gilbert had some time to throw. Granted, the offensive line right now is not playing great when it comes to their pass blocking. Look at all the Stallions that are in Gilbert's face pretty quickly. Regardless, Garrett has got to get rid of that football. It's going to bring up 2nd and 18? 2nd and 19, I think, from Salt Lake's 38. And now they're, once again, kind of out of field goal range. We'll see over the 2nd and 20, actually. That was a 10-yard sack from Schultz. See what the play call is. Can they get some of this yardage back and at least put themselves in a position to come away with some points? They go on the ground. It's Johnson, and he's going to be taken down immediately at the 36. Only a gain of about 2, and let's take a look at this Salt Lake defense. One of the best defenses in this league, and you got these guys up front. Tenny Palapoy had a few sacks in week 1. Carter Schultz with 2 already this game. You got Greer Martini and Gianni Paul, who have been locked down at the linebacker position. And then the safeties and the cornerbacks have been playing great. Micah Hanneman, Cody Brown, Steve Williams, Will Davis, Jordan Stern as well. Some big names there, and guys that coming into the league were like, oh, they're going to be pretty decent, and they've been outstanding. Big 3rd and 18 in Orlando. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of borderline out of field goal range. If Garrett Gilbert doesn't get rid of this football quickly, I don't think they're going to come up with any points. Steve Spurrier's got to make a good play call here to at least give Elliott Fry a chance at 3. Back to throw is Gilbert. All day to throw. Going deep down the field, and it's knocked away. Excellent defense there. Steve Williams in coverage. Knocks it away from Charles Johnson. 4th and 18, and is Elliott Fry going to get the 53-yard field goal attempt? I don't know. I'll be honest, I know you got those one-on-ones there. You want to take a shot, but Williams is all over Johnson. Not a great decision by Garrett Gilbert. And he's kind of lucky that Williams went up just to knock it away. I think he could have come away with an interception there. But anyways, it's going to bring up 4th and 18, and they are going to send out Elliott Fry for a 53-yard field goal attempt. See if he can knock it through. The kick is on its way, and it's short. No good. And that is tough. Orlando unable to knock it through, and Salt Lake gets perfect field position right now at the 43, and that's just rough. And it goes back to Garrett Gilbert. There's a couple bad, just mistakes. It looks like that kick was just a bit low and a bit to the left. I gotta say, Steve Spurrier, his squad has struggled. Week 1, it looked like one of the best teams in the league. The last couple weeks, they look good, but they just really struggled to close out drives, and we've seen it constantly. Last week, and against San Antonio here and there, they just can't close out these drives. They got all the way inside the 30. On the ground, big hole. Bunyan with the first down to the 47 of Orlando. And Salt Lake getting back to that run game that's been working pretty well today. And this is going to be one of those games that I really think it's going to become, can Josh Woodrum or Garrett Gilbert make more plays? Because both these teams have good running games. Both these teams have good defenses. I'd say the edge goes to Salt Lake, especially just the way they played this season defensively. They only gave up 6 points in week 1, 14 in week 2, and then only 9 in week 3. I mean, this defense has been phenomenal. It's a big-time stop from them. 1st and 10 now from the 47 of Orlando. On the ground, why not? Bunyan breaks a tackle and takes it inside the 40 to the 39. That's a gain of 8. And Bunyan has almost 50 yards on just 4 carries. I'm sure Dennis Erickson could not be happier with the way his game plan is working out right now. Excellent football being played so far. And this offensive line, once again, creating space and opportunities for Joel Bunyan. 2nd and 2 now from the 39. Why not stick on the ground? That's a first down again. On the carry, it's Bunyan to the 36. And the Stallions full speed ahead right now with the run game, and why not? Between Bunyan and Mount Asiato, who's had a couple nice runs this season as well, they have a lot of talent there at the running position. 1st and 10 from the 36. What is Erickson going to call? And Woodrum will throw. Checks it out, and it is a quick catch, but blown up immediately. Great read by the linebacker. That's Terrence Garvin. It's a loss of 2 on the play, and so far, Josh Woodrum has -2 yards passing. And this is a dangerous pass, because if Garvin just jumps on that just slightly quicker, which he was very quick to begin with, that could have been a pick 6 going the other way. 2nd and 12 coming up. Let's see what Salt Lake can do offensively. Running, I'd run the ball here. If I'm Dennis Erickson, I know it's 2nd and 12, but run the ball. They've been running it all over Orlando's defense right now. I'd stick with the run game. And off play action, Woodrum will throw. He's pressured, gonna go deep, lets it fly. Man wide open, it's caught. Adonis Jennings all the way down to the 10, and that'll be the last play of this first quarter. What a play for the Stallions to head into the second. 0-0 here in the first. Couple botched first drives from both teams, but Salt Lake looking good right now. They want to stay undefeated, and this is a big game for both these teams. If you're Salt Lake, you're kind of getting a little bit pressured by San Diego, who's 2-1. Coming up the ranks, a loss here gives San Diego a chance to take over the division. Meanwhile, you got Orlando on the other side. Bunyan on the give, and he'll only get about a yard or 2. Actually gets 3. Good effort there. Second effort from Bunyan. But Orlando on the other side, they got to worry about Atlanta, who's 2-1. You got Memphis, who's 0-3. Birmingham is struggling at 1-2. But Atlanta has been surprisingly good this season, and if Orlando can't find a way to get a win here, they're going to be in trouble. And this is a tough one. This is a tough game for them. Salt Lake is 3-0, and they've shown a lot of resiliency these first 3 weeks. 2nd and 7. Woodrum back to throw. With time. End zone shot. Man wide open is caught. Touchdown, Nick Truesdell. And the Stallions strike first. Josh Woodrum finds the end zone. That's a big-time play for the Stallions to take the lead. Look at this throw. Just wide open across the middle, and I don't know what Victor is doing there. He's got a chance to make a play on this ball. At least get his hands up and knock it away. I guess he just doesn't really see it coming, and Nick Truesdell is just wide open there on a nice little flanker dig. Beautifully executed by the Stallions, and I'm sure that's exactly how Dennis Erickson wanted to see it go, and pretty happy as his offense comes to the sideline, but they're going to have to go right back out, because remember, guys, 2-point conversions. Salt Lake, they've been up and down with these conversions. Let's see what they can do here in the first of this game. Bunyan on the carry, straight in. It's good. 8-0 lead, and this home crowd absolutely loves it. Salt Lake put on a show to start this game. Well, actually the second quarter. That's exactly what you want to see if you're Dennis Erickson. Look at this, just wide open lane. So they're 1 for 1. Last week, they were 0 for 1 on the 2-point conversion. 2 for 3 in week 2, and then in week 1 they were 4 for 5. So pretty good stats so far in their 2-point conversions and attempts. And now let's see how Orlando can respond. And again, this is an Apollos team that had over 300 yards in their first 2 games. Last week, close to 300, but right now, not playing the best. Akeem Hunt decides to take a knee. So Orlando take it to the 25, and right now, Steve Spurrier, he's got to find a way to get his offense going. They had a nice first drive going. Gilbert takes a terrible sack, which he should not have taken, gets pushed back, they miss a field goal, and it's an easy drive for Salt Lake. This could easily be 8-0 the other way if Orlando just had a couple things go their way on that drive. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Let's see what the play call is to get things going on first down. On the ground, Johnson trying to break through tacklers and takes it to 30. Decent game. I mean, I thought he was going to be snuffed out in the backfield. Brings up 2nd and 5. And they got to get back to what they were doing there with those quick runs, quick throws. That's where Orlando thrives. Here early in the second quarter, they've got to strike back. Got to find a way to get on the scoreboard. They got to find a way to get in the end zone again because they've struggled with that. Off play action. Gilbert going to take it himself, and that goes absolutely nowhere. Absolutely blown up by Darius Hamilton in the backfield. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6. And this Salt Lake defense is showing up today. And I understand what Steve Spurrier's trying to do there. You know, a little bit of different play call. Something to shake things up. But that's just a terrible decision. When the defense just is able to get right in. They put a lot of pressure on Gilbert today. And you got to just call quick passes. 3rd and 6 now. They've struggled on 3rd down. Back throws Gilbert. Blitz from Salt Lake. Lets it go deep down the field. Man, wide open. It's complete. Sean Price inside the 40 to the 39. How about that? The tight end, who's had a great season so far, gets wide open down the field. Just runs that seam route and gets right by the linebacker in one-on-one coverage. That's blown by Banderas. What a play. And Sean Price, he's had a pretty great season to start things out here. He's got 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, and after that catch, that pushes him close to 180, I think. 1st and 10 now from Salt Lake's 39. They're knocking on the door at field goal range. Can they actually march down and score points? On the ground, Johnson trying to find a lane, takes it to the 37. Salt Lake doing a nice job of containing him relatively quickly. To bring up 2nd and 8 from the 37, and here's the spots where the Apollos really struggle. They've done a terrible job of scoring points. Once they get inside the 40, they just can't seem to move the football very well. So we'll see what they can do here. 2nd and 8 from the 37. On the ground, Johnson trying to break through, and it's Greer Martini who stands him up at the 35. 3rd and 6, and another big 3rd down, and Orlando not doing an efficient job of getting good yardage on 1st and 2nd down right now. Just a lack of intensity and lack of quickness right now. I don't know why they're not running more quick plays with all the talent they have at the wideout position. 3rd and 6 from Salt Lake's 35. What can Gilbert do? Back to throw. He's just going to check it out. That's caught, and Johnson loses yardage, and that's awful. That is absolutely awful. Micah Hanneman in there with a huge stop. It is really just sad offense. On 3rd and 6, you screen it out to someone who's got an unblocked defender coming right at him. Horrendous, and I think Orlando's going to have to punt. They will. Ben Turk on to punt it from the 38. And this is really pathetic from Orlando. One of the teams that really should be a lot better than this in this league. Decent punt from Ben Turk. And nicely done by the special team. So finally something somewhat positive for Orlando. But that's 2 drives right there where they've gotten inside the 40 or inside the 30. No points. Disappointing from Orlando, but Salt Lake's defense, I mean, I can't say enough about what they've done. Look at Joe Bunyan. 6 carries, 51 yards, and the Stallions are just kind of certainly look unbeatable right now. And right now, if I got to predict who's going to win this game, it's going to be Salt Lake. They're running the football well. Josh Woodrum making a couple nice plays when he has to. The Apollos defense hasn't had many answers, and their offense has had no answers so far. 1st and 10 from their own 5, though. A lot of work to do on this drive, and Bunyan trying to find a lane. Cuts up field. Nice move to the 8. Mark Myers, not a chance. 2nd and 6 now. Picks up 3 or 4 in the play. Can Orlando's defense, though, find a way to make a stop? They got to maybe create a turnover, do something, because the Apollos, they've just continued to score less and less points with every game, it seems. 0 points with under 5 minutes here in the 2nd quarter. On the ground again, and this time, nowhere to go. Excellent tackle inside by Earl Okine. Takes him down for a loss of about 1. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. That's a play that Orlando really needed. This defense has played a good couple of weeks. I mean, week 2, they did a good job against San Antonio. Just had that crazy PI call at the end. They shut down Atlanta. last week they struggled against Memphis, but made some really nice stops when they had to. Big 3rd and 7 right now for Salt Lake. Again, they keep moving the chains. Woodrum back to throw. With all sorts of time. He's got to get rid of the football. Barely gets rid of it as he's hit, and it's incomplete in the direction of Sam Mobley. So Salt Lake's going to have to punt it away. Good defensive stand, and Woodrum, that was dangerous. I don't know how he even got that off after all that. He was ready to be taken down, and he still puts a nice throw. Sam Mobley unable to make the reception. So backed up at their own 8, they're going to have to punt it. Alston Recco wanted to punt it for the 2nd time today. Backed up in his own end zone, he boots it away, and it's a good kick. Jalen Marshall back at his own 35 to receive. Tries to cut it upfield and takes it to the 50. So Orlando with great starting field position right now. If the Orlando offense, with all the weapons that they have, with the way they've looked, if they can't find a way to score on this drive, they're just going to need they need to do something. I mean, starting from the 50, with Garrett Gilbert, Dearness Johnson, Charles Johnson, Jalen Marshall, Sean Price, I mean, the list goes on. Back to throws Gilbert. Lets it rip, and oh my goodness. He's had a couple really close calls this season. He hasn't thrown a pick yet, but he's had a couple that definitely should have been picked off. 2nd and 10 from the 50. Terrible play to start things off. I mean, your defense has a great stop, and your offense comes out and does that. Makes it difficult for your defense to try to keep making all these stops. 2nd and 10. See the play call is from Spurrier. They go on the ground. It's Johnson who's met immediately. Greer Martini wasn't fooled. This Salt Lake defense is something else. I mean, this squad, they haven't given up more than 14 points in a game. 3rd and 10 from the 49. High snap. Gilbert back to throw. Lets it rip. And he's got a man. It's caught. Jalen Marshall. Once again, they're down to the 30. At the 30, 31. That's a big play. Sets him up at the 31. Jalen Marshall gets his first catch of the day. It's a beautifully run route. And a nice throw from Gilbert on the money. And I'm wondering, like, where is more of that been from this Orlando offense? Nice gain on the play, brings him down to 31, but with the way they've looked inside the 40, I feel like Gilbert's just going to take a sack here, and then they're going to have to punt it again. I don't know. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but both their drives, they've gotten inside the 40 and haven't come away with any points. Quick handoff to Johnson, who cuts it upfield. There is a flag. Oh, it's going to be holding this time. Well, instead of it being a sack, it's a 7-yard holding call. So how about that for Orlando? Just finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot consistently. Off play action. Gilbert has to let it go. Going deep. And it's intercepted! Picked off by Will Davis. With room to run down the sidelines. And he's going to take it all the way up to the 30. Wow. So Gilbert is picked off for the first time this season. And it's Will Davis, the cornerback for Salt Lake. And this is a bad throw from Gilbert. I don't think he has enough room to step into it, and it's just underthrown. He's looking for Jalen Marshall, who has a step on Davis. If Gilbert just puts this ball where it's supposed to be, it's a touchdown. And, you know, this is just, it really is pathetic. This is the 3rd trip inside the 40 for Orlando. You had a missed field goal, you had a punt, and now an interception. Steve Spurrier, I mean, this is just horrendous football right now from his team, and an embarrassment to the Apollos, who, again, this is supposed to be a team that can score at will. And we saw it in week 1. 1st and 10 now from the 30, and time for Salt Lake to score before the half here. Back to throw is Woodrum. All day to throw. Little CPU issue. Lets it rip to the sidelines. It's complete. Adonis Jennings gains only about 1 on the play, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in this first half, and it's the hometown Stallions 3-0 looking to stay undefeated, and they got a nice 8-0 lead against the Apollos, who this is the first time it looks like they're going to be shut out in a half. They have not been shut out in the first half yet in any of these games, but this is Stallions defense, I'm telling you. They are the best defense in this league, and it's showing right now. 2nd and 9 now from their own 31. They got all 3 timeouts. Back to throw is Woodrum. Plenty of time. Lets it rip, dumps it off, and that's Denham. The fullback makes a quick catch up at the 36. Actually, excuse me, that's Sam Mobley. Got those two mixed up. Brings up big 3rd and 4. Salt Lake, they can keep the drive moving, but the thing is, Orlando's defense made a nice stop. First drive made a nice stop on that 3rd drive. Ready to make a stop here, but how many stops are they going to be able to make until they just bend? Woodrum, he's going to go deep. He's got a man and is somehow hauled in. Wow. What a catch by Nick Truesdell at the 40. And this drive continues to move. Look at this. Right over somehow. Because Woodrum, this ball is... Actually, that's just a perfect pass. Look at this throw from Woodrum. Just drops it in the bucket for Truesdell, where Terrence Carvin can't get to it. It's a great throw. It's a great catch, and football doesn't get much better than that, ladies and gentlemen. 1st and 10 from the 40. Salt Lake in charge, and I don't know why the clock stopped. Quick pass, it's caught. And Adonis Jennings breaking tackles and down the sidelines inside the 14. Salt Lake's offense is making things happen. 2 big plays in a row sets them up inside the 15. Just a nice quick throw, and just poor tackling from Cody Riggs. Just gets run over by Adonis Jennings. He's got to make that play, and he does not. And now, Salt Lake in a position to probably score a touchdown now. I mean, I thought it's going to be a long shot to get a field goal. Look at this. 1st and 10 from the 14. These Stallions, full speed ahead. Going to the end zone. Wow, that was close. Mark Myers. He saw that ball coming a little bit quicker. That could have been an interception for Woodrum. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 14. Second and 10. What is the play call going to be from Dennis Erickson? They've been throwing the ball well, finally. They're going to stick with the passing game. Back to throw is Woodrum. All day. Now checks it outside. That's caught. Bunyan makes a move and taken down inside the 10. It's going to set him up 3rd and about 2 from the 7. What a move by Bunyan. This guy has been playing great football for Salt Lake, and wow, 2 timeouts left for the Stallions. Talk about time management. Something, it's funny though. I mean, most of these Madden simulations do terrible with this, but for some reason the Stallions are getting the breaks when it comes to time management. Back to throw is Woodrum on 3rd and 2. End zone, man wide open is caught. Touchdown, Adonis Jennings. Salt Lake adds to their lead, and they are up 14-0 here at home against the Apollos. A little bit of a wobbly throw from Woodrum, but it's on the money. Wow. Salt Lake. They are looking like the best team in this league. Undefeated. Booth review? Why? Both his feet were clearly down. That's not even a question. He's got possession, 1-2. Absolutely a catch. Madden's just wasting our time right now. Dennis Erickson. He's got to be happy with the way his team has looked. Not a question about that one. 14-0, and now 2-point conversion to make it a 16-point deficit for the Apollos. This is the biggest that they've been losing all season long. They pitch it to Asiata. Gets an angle. He's in. 16-0. The Salt Lake Stallions are proving their dominance. This is a game that I really thought that Orlando could prove that they're one of the best in this league, but they're really just slipping into mediocrity here. Asiata with a great run on that pitch and is 2 for 2 on the day of the 2-point conversions. Orlando has like no time. 48 seconds, 3 timeouts, but Madden did nicely for Salt Lake, but they're not going to do good for both of them. That's for sure. Taylor Bertollet, haven't seen any of him. Sends it away. Akeem Hunt takes a knee in the end zone. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 from their own 25. And this game is quickly slipping away from Orlando's grasp, and it's mainly because Garrett Gilbert has not found a way to get it done for his team. This is the worst stats he's had this season. And he's going up against the toughest defense he's played. But still, there's no excuses for getting inside the 40 3 times and coming away with no points. To throw is Gilbert on 1st down. Quick pass, it's caught. Thompson, and he gets a face mask. That'll push him to about the 40. That was Will Davis who had the interception earlier. Gets a face mask, and now Orlando does have a chance at least coming away with a field goal here if they can make it happen somehow. They need a lot of things to go their way. 1st and 10 now from the 45. See what the play call is from Spurrier. To throw is Gilbert. With time. Deep down the field, he's got a man and is knocked away. Sean Price can't hang on. To bring up 2nd and 10. Big hit, and Price just can't haul it in. I mean, that's a tough throw. That's a tough catch to make. A tough throw. It's a good throw from Gilbert. Orlando's offense, though, just kind of look flat. There isn't that big play that we've seen. There isn't the deep shot to Charles Johnson that connects. The big run from Dearness Johnson. There's not been really any of that today. Back to throw is Gilbert. Quick slant. It's caught. Johnson takes it to the 42, and they call their first timeout. Can the Apollos come away with any points off this drive is the question. Once again, I mean, they're moving the ball down. They do a great job of moving the ball down the field between like their own 25 and the opponent's 40. But then once they get inside the 40, it's just, I don't know, just something goes wrong and they can't find a way to get it done. 1st and 10 from the 42. Back to throw is Gilbert. All day, rips it across the middle. It's caught. Marshall gets into the 33, and they have to blow their 2nd timeout. But yeah, I mean, I really don't see how they can come away with any points here, even though they're in field goal range with only 28 seconds and 1 timeout. They're definitely not going to have enough time to kick a field goal if they have a couple plays in bounds. Second and inches from the Stallions 33. Back to throw is Gilbert, and it's incomplete. Looking in the direction of Sean Price, and to be honest, it'd be better for Orlando if they have a similar play like that right now, and they can just hope that Elliott Fry can knock through a 50-yarder. He missed the 53-yarder, which again, that's a tough kick to make. It's 53 yards. Colder conditions here in Salt Lake, so not ideal kicking conditions for kickers. 3rd and inches. Back to throw is Gilbert. Gonna go deep. He's got a man wide open, and it is caught. No! Johnson dropped it. Wow. That was the play that Orlando needed. I thought for sure he caught that. What a play from Salt Lake. Look at this. It's a beautifully thrown football. Johnson gets wide open, and is that Jordan Stern? No, it's Cody Brown. And that's horrible from Johnson. I mean, he needs to make that catch. That should be an easy touchdown for Orlando. And instead, Elliott Fry now has to kick a 50-yarder. Can he knock it through? Miss from 53. It's on its way, and it's short again. 2 missed kicks for Fry, 50 and 53, and Orlando, 0 points on the board. Wow. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I don't know why Orlando's offense has just become so bad in this simulation. They're one of the better teams. They should be good. 1st and 10 from the 40. Salt Lake with 2 timeouts, so maybe chance to do something. Going deep, man wide open. It's caught. Why not? Bunyan gets all the way down inside Orlando's 40. It's like everything is just rigged against Orlando in this game. I'm not trying to sound like Trump. But really, I mean, Charles Johnson drops a wide open touchdown catch, and then it's a 30-yard completion for the Stallions on the other end. This game was supposed to be close. Still a whole half to play, but not looking good for Orlando. In fact, the throw is Woodrum. He zips it. It's intercepted! Picked off by Terrence Garvin. So Orlando's defense at least able to snuff out that potential drive, and it gives them something to work with going into half. It's a bad throw. It's just a terrible throw. Looking for Truesdell. It's a good catch by Garvin, who gets his first interception of the season. That's Woodrum's 2nd pick of the year. Man, I thought Salt Lake was going to get points there. They really should have. They still had a timeout left, I think. First and 10 now from their own 31, and it looks like Orlando is going to try something, which I don't really think they have much of a chance of doing anything. Gilbert's just going to let it fly deep into the middle of everybody, and it's... Phew, jeez Louise. Madden is just something else. But that'll do it for the first half. Orlando shut out for the first time this season in the first half. The Salt Lake Stallions are playing phenomenal football. They certainly look like championship material, and I think they're going to go all the way. 16-0. As we head to halftime, guys, I want to let you know, if you want to support this channel, want to support the work that we do, we have some merch down in the description below. It'd be awesome if you guys want to check it out. Get yourself some cool AAF Simulated merch. More will be on the way. Or if you don't like feeling like spending money on a shirt, you could just send us a few bucks through the PayPal link in the description below. It would be greatly appreciated. A lot of work goes into doing this, a lot of time as well. Orlando taking back the field, and they'll be getting the ball for half, and they're going to have to hope that this second half goes a lot differently than the first. They had 4 trips inside the Stallions' 40-yard line, and they have 0 points to show for it. Of course, getting inside the 40 doesn't guarantee your points, but the fact that they got inside the 40 4 straight times, and every drive they got no points. Steve Spurrier's got to find some way to correct that quickly with his team. They're down 16-0. They have a lot of work to do with 2 quarters left to play in this game. And I cannot believe that Charles Johnson dropped a touchdown. Bertollet, he'll send it away. Back to receive, Akeem Hunt in the end zone. He'll take a knee. So Orlando going to get the ball at their own 25. See if they get maybe a tiny bit of momentum off that Terrence Garvin interception. I don't know, but there's Charles Johnson coming out, and he's got to be feeling a little bit sick to his stomach. He ran a great route. Garrett Gilbert threw a great ball, and he's just simply dropped it. And then Elliott Fry missed his 2nd kick. 1st and 10 from the 25. What can Orlando do offensively here? On the ground is Johnson, looking for some room, and missed blocks. Greer Martini in there immediately. It's only a gain of about 2, but Johnson could have had a lot more had he gotten some help. And Johnson, I mean, he started this game looking good, and the problem is the offensive line has just kind of practically stopped blocking for him. And Salt Lake's done a really good job of switching things up. Dennis Erickson, just great job coaching this defense and making Orlando work really hard for everything that they get. 2nd and 8 from the 27. On the ground, it's Johnson again, cuts up field and fumbles the football, and it's picked up by the offensive lineman, who gets it to the 42. Well, that was a break that went Orlando's way. Johnson with his first fumble of the season, and is picked up by Jordan McKay. Phew. Jonas Johnson's done a great job with security, and I definitely think that this is going to booth review. Yeah, the ground forced that fumble. Now that kind of makes sense because he's done a good job. Both angles are a little bit. First and 10 from the 42, and it looks like there will be no booth review on it. So, first down stands as the break for Orlando. All receivers spread wide for Gilbert. Back to throw. Zips it. It's caught by Jalen Marshall, but he's only able to pick up about 4 on the play. Garrett Gilbert, 10-17, 122 yards and a pick, and this game could be a lot different. I mean, on that interception, he had Jalen Marshall wide open. He had a couple steps, and he just underthrows it, and then he hits Charles Johnson with a beauty in the end zone, and he drops it. So that's 2 touchdowns right there that Orlando has not been able to get. And meanwhile, you got Salt Lake that's capitalized on a couple nice drives, and that's why they have 16 points. 2nd and 6 coming up from their own 46, and let's see if the Apollos can start moving the ball down the field and just do something. And they try to do that play with Gilbert, and it goes nowhere. Eaten alive in the backfield. How about the tackle made by Steve Williams? Steve Williams and Will Davis. A couple of cornerbacks that have done a great job shutting down teams. Just a terrible play call from Steve Spurrier. That play hasn't been working this game. Salt Lake gets pressure so quickly, I don't know why you'd run that. It's really a terrible, terrible decision from Spurrier, who had a couple bad play calls this game so far. 3rd and 8, big 3rd down. Orlando has not done a good job of finding a way to finish these drives. 3rd and 8, Gilbert back to throw with time, and he's going to be taken down. In the backfield, as Tenny Palapui gets home. He's had himself a heck of a year, and that just adds to his highlight reel. And Orlando's going to have to punt. Disappointing for Garrett Gilbert. That's tough. He's got to just throw the football. He had time. And 4th and 15, and quite obviously, it's going to have to be a punt backed up at their own 37. So this time, they don't even get to the Stallions 40. They barely get past their own. Terrible way to start this drive, and Ben Turk boots it away back to receive. Is Sam Mobley, who takes it just outside his 10, taking it down to 15. The one thing that also is kind of something that didn't really go Orlando's way is the fact that Terrence Garvin got a pick with 3 seconds on the clock. If they could have at least done that earlier on in the game, it would have helped them out a lot, but really some great plays right now being made from Josh Woodrum, who's got 2 touchdowns on the day. He has the interception, but Adonis Jennings, he threw a touchdown to him. He's found Nick Truesdell for a touchdown and a couple nice throws in there as well. It has been all Salt Lake, and it's continuing to be all Salt Lake. 1st and 10 from their own 15, and they just need one more score, and they can pretty much solidify this game. Woodrum back to throw. Lets it go. It is dropped. DeMornay Pearsonell, who really has not been involved at all in this game, can't hang on. Brings up 2nd and 10 from their own 15. See, that's the one thing that, like, right now is where Orlando needs to make an interception. Like a pick 6 or something, but I really don't see how they're going to get it. Josh Woodrum's been playing a phenomenal game. 2nd and 10 now from the 15. Off play action. Woodrum will stick with throwing. Pressured, and he does get rid of it, and he's got a man wide open. First down for Salt Lake, all the way up at the 36. What a play. That's Tanner Baldery on the reception. And see, this is the difference between Woodrum and Gilbert this game. Woodrum, when he's being pressured, he lets the football go. See? It's really, really simple. Meanwhile, you got Garrett Gilbert, who's taken a few sacks this game. That's killed a lot of drives. First and 10 now from the 36. On the ground, and whoa! Oh my goodness, what a move! Bunyan's off to the races! He's gonna go all the way! There is a flag, but that's a touchdown for Salt Lake. And it's coming back. Looks like the hole wasn't actually a hole. Tough break for Salt Lake. Bunyan made a couple great moves on that play. Gets called back. That's tough. On the draw, it's Bunyan taken down pretty quick at the 35, but he's having himself a really nice day again. Terrence Garvin in there with a nice tackle. He's had himself a nice day, but generally speaking, I mean, this has just been a bad game all around for Orlando. Defensively, they've been okay. And honestly, the problem is their defense hasn't played too bad, but it's just the fact that their offense has been so poor. It makes it so hard for your defense to make any sort of stop. Off play action. Look at this. They bring a blitz and oh, he goes down. Finally taken down. That's Anthony Moten who gets in there for the first sack of the day for Orlando. And it's about time. I was just about to say, look at this. Orlando brought like 6 guys on that play, and it still took them that long to finally get to Woodrum, who just has to pull it down, sensing the pressure from Moten. So bring up a big third down right now for Salt Lake, and can they convert? They've done a really solid job on these longer plays throughout the season. 3rd and 16, backed up at their own 30. Can they make a play? I mean, the first down here, and you really start to think, like, yeah, Salt Lake can really start putting this away. Can Orlando's defense make something happen? Back to throw is Woodrum. All day. Just has to check it down to the sidelines. It's caught by Bunyan, who is met up immediately by Mark Myers. Good tackle. Only a gain about 5. So Salt Lake will have to punt. And again, I mean, this is the third or fourth stop that this defense has had today. They're not playing a bad game. I know Salt Lake has 16 points on 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. But again, they're doing what they can. And if only their offense was not so pathetic today, this could be a tie game, or Orlando could have the lead. But you got to give credit where credit is due, and that is Salt Lake's defense that has given up 0 points today against one of the best offenses in this league. Austin Recco on to punt it away now. He'll boot it away. Back to receive is Jalen Marshall, and that does not take a good bounce for Salt Lake. So it's a touchback. Orlando will get it at the 20. They have to go 80 yards to try to get their first touchdown of the day. 2 missed field goals, an interception, drop touchdown. It's been a miserable day for this offense. Gilbert's been pressured. He's held on to the football way too long. And can Steve Spurrier come up with some sort of game plan for this offense? 1st and 10 from their own 20. Back to throws Gilbert. And almost picked off for the second time by Will Davis. Dangerous throw. Try to zip it in there between a couple of the defenders. That did not go his way. Second and 10 coming up now from the 20. See what the play call is. On the ground, and wow. What a tackle by Mike Purcell. He broke right through there to make the play, and this is just such a disappointing game for the Apollos. I mean, where is the offensive line? Where is the offensive lineman? Why does he pull off of his man there? There is no reason to. The running back is coming up right behind you. It's horrendous football. And Orlando is playing like they're 0-3 right now. 3rd and 11 now from the 19. Gilbert back to throw. With time. Pressured, and is he going to get rid of it? He finally does, and it's picked off for the second time. And who else but Will Davis? He's got an angle. Is he going to take it to the house? He will. Touchdown, Salt Lake. Will Davis with 2 interceptions today, and that one takes it back for a score. Salt Lake, they came to play. And after all of that time that Gilbert had to throw the football, he throws it right to Will Davis. Wow. 2nd interception of the year for Gilbert, and both of them going to Davis. This has just been such a lopsided game. It really goes to show that Salt Lake is clearly the #1 team right now. 2-point conversion try from the 2. Back to throw is Woodrum. Lets it go. Back of the end zone. It's good. They are 3 for 3. DeMornay Pearson gets his first catch. Here's a little sighting for DeMornay. It's about time. 24-0 lead for the Stallions. And again, it's such a big game for Orlando to try to win, and they're just doing terrible. This is the worst game I've seen them play. Obviously. But it really is just sad. Down by 24 points with only 13 minutes left to play in this game. Akeem Hunt takes a knee. So Garrett Gilbert coming back out there after throwing the pick 6. And, yeah, there he is. Look at these stats. 10 of 19, 122 yards and 2 picks. By far his worst game of the season. And it's a little bit concerning if you're an Orlando fan. I mean, your team's about ready to drop to 2-2 now on the season. If Atlanta can pull off a win against Arizona, which they should be able to do, they're on top of that division. Back to throw is Gilbert. Lets it rip. He's got a man open. It's caught at about the 40. Nice grab by Chris Thompson. It's gain of 15. Set up 1st and 10 now from the 40. It's a nice throw from Gilbert. But it's something that, like, we've seen Gilbert make these throws consistently pretty much consistently through the last few weeks. But today, he's been horrible. And granted, he's had a couple of bad breaks, couple drop passes. That Charles Johnson touchdown, that was rough. But he's thrown 2 picks, and then that pick 6 is really a crusher that kind of solidifies Salt Lake going 4-0. Quick fakes the screen. Gilbert with time. He's going to let it rip deep down the field, and it's dropped again by Johnson. That's a good throw. Charles Johnson has now dropped 2 big plays, 2 big passes this game. Salt Lake. So if Salt Lake improves to 4-0, they're really starting to pull ahead, and they're going to play San Diego in week 5, and that'll be a really interesting test for both of those teams. On the ground, Johnson trying to find a lane. Taking down the 45. Let's bring up a 3rd and 5 right now for the Apollos, who have been shut out today by the Salt Lake defense that is just playing phenomenal. You know, other way to put it. I mean, this is just great football from Dennis Erickson's got to be really, really happy with the way this defense has looked, and their offense has looked pretty dang good too. Back to throw is Gilbert. Rips it. It's caught. Chris Thompson 1st down at the 48. Nice conversion for the Apollos. And Chris Thompson does a good job of hanging on after the big hit from Steve Williams. And it's a great read from Williams as well, pulling off of Charles Johnson and coming up to make the tackle. Otherwise, Thompson would have been open and gotten quite a bit more yards. Regardless, it's a good 1st down for the Apollos. Under a minute here in this 3rd quarter. On the ground, Johnson barrels forward to the 43, and he's closing in on 50 yards. He's had at least 50 yards rushing in every game, so we'll see if he can reach that mark today. 2nd and 5 from Salt Lake's 43. Inching closer to the 40-yard line, which is basically what Orlando thinks is a score. 3 more yards until Orlando gets more points on the board, at least according to the way their offense is played. Johnson, can he get to... Ooh. Only gets 2 on that play, and they're going to get him to 50. Brings up 3rd and 3. Oh, he was just short, but he gets there anyways. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough loss for Orlando. If they can't find a way to miraculously win this, and that, I mean, at Birmingham in week 5, it's going to be a tough schedule for them. We've hit the end of the 3rd quarter, and the Stallions have a 24-0 lead here at home. We thought this game was going to be a close one between 2 of the best teams in the league, but Salt Lake has proven that they are the best team in this league. Ready to go 4-0 unless Orlando can put up 24 points in this 4th quarter. 3rd and 3. Gilbert back to throw. With time, going deep. End zone shot. Man wide open. It's caught by Jalen Marshall. And he's into the end zone. It's about time that Orlando did that. I mean, it's crazy that they haven't scored that yet, but that's a big time touchdown. Jalen Marshall has now scored a touchdown in every game so far. This is a nice throw. He's got Marshall wide open, and he's just able to break the final tackle and get in. So, big play for the Apollos. And you think, like, if Charles Johnson didn't drop that touchdown, if he hit Marshall on the other touchdown, if Elliott Fry didn't miss 2 field goals, which granted they were tough, there's just so many things that Orlando has screwed up so badly that it's really hurt them. 2-point conversion, a big one, because they can at least make it 2 scores if they can convert here. Gilbert to throw. Going to the outside. It's caught? Yes, it is. Johnson able to hold it in. It's 24-8, so that's a quick score here to start things off in the 4th quarter. Maybe it's sort of something for Orlando, but I don't know. I mean, the way that they've looked outside of that quick play, we'll see. Nice grab by Johnson, who's had a couple really bad drops today. Uncharacteristic drops as well. Normally one of the sure-handed receivers in this league. So it's 24-8, and now let's see what Josh Woodrum can do. And remember, that pick 6 from Garrett Gilbert gave Salt Lake 8 points. If you take away that as well, this game is much closer, and this is the type of stuff that Steve Spurrier's got to find a way to control. His team has got to stop making so many mistakes on offense. It's plaguing their team. In the end zone, Brandon Oliver will just take a knee, and they'll bring out Salt Lake's offense at the 25-yard line. Josh Woodrum coming out. He's had a nice day. 12-19, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And while those stats, right off the bat, they don't look great, his team's up 24-8. He's the type of quarterback that's perfect for this undefeated Salt Lake team because they ride that run game, and then Woodrum makes plays when he has to, like this. Maybe not that. 2nd and 10 from the 25. He's lucky that wasn't intercepted. He had a lot of pressure. 2nd and 10 now from their own 25. See the play all over from Dennis Erickson. I'd like to see them get back to that ground game because it's been so effective today. Why not go back to Bunyan? Off play action. Woodrum will throw it again. Lets it go deep across the middle, and it... How in the world is that caught? You've got to be kidding me. Adonis Jennings, that should have been intercepted. 2 Orlando Apollos were right there to make a play, and Adonis Jennings somehow goes up there and gets it, and he's got himself another 100-yard day. Look at this. It's just a great throw. You've got Mark Myers and Ladarius Gunner right there in position to make a play, and they both don't. And that's the type of thing, like, Josh Woodrum is able to make stuff like that happen week in and week out. Last week, a couple great throws got him in the end zone to win that game against Arizona. Had a couple great plays against Birmingham, helped them win that game. And the shellacking in week 1 of Arizona. On the ground, Bunyan taken down immediately by Terrence Garvin. But he's averaging 5.8 yards a touch. I mean, he's having himself another great day. And this game, I mean, it's really just getting out of hand. And this Orlando team, it has so much talent, so it's surprising to see them perform so poorly. Whew. 2nd and 8 now from the 35. Off play action, Woodrum will throw and lets it rip deep. Wide open is Jennings! He caught that? Touchdown! Whoa. That looked like he lost control. He makes the catch, and yeah, he's in, I think. Goes up, grabs it, and what a catch. And how about Josh Woodrum throwing his 3rd touchdown of the day? Adonis Jennings has 2 of them. And Jennings' huge day continues. He has been playing outstanding. 2-point conversion now for Salt Lake to extend their lead even further. Woodrum pressure, gets it off. It is Sam Mobley. They're 4 for 4 on the day. 32-8, and just like that, Salt Lake strikes back almost as quickly as Orlando did. 4 plays, 75 yards, minute and a half. I mean, see, and remember, I told you, Josh Woodrum's the type of guy that comes out and just gets it done for you. And he did it. Playing great football right now. And on to kick it away is Taylor Bertollet. Boots it away, back to receive is Akeem Hunt. Take it at about the 3. Looking for a lane and breaking through some tackles and staying on his feet all the way up to the 38. So nice return. But Orlando's still down by 24, so this game is pretty much over. It goes back to that nice catch by Jennings again. He had like 3 great catches that drive. But if Mark Myers or Ladarius Gunner makes a play on that ball, picks it off, Orlando still has a chance in this game. First and 10 now from their own 38. Back to throw is Gilbert. Rips it quickly, that's Johnson. And he lost the football. And is it picked up by Salt Lake? It is! Who else but Will Davis? Unbelievable. I thought Johnson was down. He's trying to spin away from the tackler. This has just been a horrendous game for Orlando. Take a better look at this. I think it just gets knocked out right at the end of that play. And it's Will Davis who has his 3rd turnover. Hopefully we get a good look here. That is so close. Probably not going to get a booth review. Look at Adonis Jennings. 135 yards, 6 catches, 2 touchdowns in Salt Lake. Here in week 4, I'd say that there's a really, really good chance. No, it is under booth review now. I'd say there's a really good chance that Salt Lake goes all the way. Is the ball gets knocked out by his own guy, but it does look like he is down there. I'd say this should be reversed. Looks like his knee is down. And yes, it is reversed. Orlando gets it back, so good call by the referees. First and 10 now from the 49. Gilbert back to throw. With time, just checks it out. It's caught. Johnson again, he takes it to the 48 of Orlando. Time continues to run. In what's been a very lopsided game, and a game that we really thought was going to be the game of the week, but certainly has not. Salt Lake is shocking us all. I mean, really not shocking, but it is shocking that they shut out Orlando until the 4th quarter. 2nd and 7. Gilbert back to throw. It's caught. The first down for Sean Price at the 40. Oh, it looks like Orlando scored. Hey, you know what's funny? Their only touchdown in the game was 41 yards. It's like once they get to the 40 or beyond, it's like, no, we cannot score. And that's borderline. Don't think that one's going to go into review, but that was close. I don't know if he maintained possession of that going to the ground. First and 10 now from Salt Lake's 40 as we're under 7 minutes to play. Back to throw is Gilbert. Lets it go to the sidelines. Oh my. Almost his 3rd pick of the day. That was Henry Tolliver in there. And this is definitely this really is the worst that we've seen Garrett Gilbert play. Just been a rough go for him all around. 2nd and 10 now from the 40. Let's see what the play call is for Orlando. Back to throw. Gilbert, same play, and it's picked off by Tolliver this time. Henry Tolliver knew it. He knew it. If he got one more chance at it, he was going to take it. And Salt Lake has created 3 turnovers in this game, 3 picks. Tolliver gets his 2nd of the season. Just what a dismal performance from Garrett Gilbert. He's been so efficient the first 3 weeks, and today he's been completely exposed. Out comes Josh Woodrum, who was thrown for the opposite, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, but great drive, and Salt Lake rolling on their way to 4-0. And also, it is funny though, yeah, the 1 interception for Orlando came when it didn't matter. On the ground, Bunyan first down, what's new? Up to the 50. Great run. The offensive line just does an excellent job. And it's a great play for Salt Lake that keeps this drive moving. Bunyan at 70 yards. He's getting close to having his second 100-yard day of the week if he keeps this up. And that time, Azim Victor takes him down after a gain of about 3. 2nd and 7 now from the 47. What a game. And let's look fast forward. Of course, this is the first game of week 4, so we really don't know the records of what all the other teams are going to be after this week. Wait until after this play. 2nd and 7 from the 47 of Orlando. Salt Lake continuing to just drive the ball down the field. Bunyan taken down by Garvin at the 46. But yeah, let's take a look at the schedule quick. Orlando will be playing at Birmingham, who right now is 1-2. They'll be playing San Antonio. That game's kind of up in the air. But then you got Salt Lake, who's going to be playing against San Diego. And San Diego right now is 2-1. Don't know what they'll be. They definitely have a chance of going 3-1, playing against 0-3 Memphis this week. But we'll see. Delayed give, Bunyan goes down at the 45, so Salt Lake's going to have to punt. But anyways, getting back to that, if Salt Lake, they're going to go 4-0 here, and it really is up in the air what San Diego will do. If San Diego wins, they're 3-1. That'll be a huge game in Week 5 at San Diego. Meanwhile, Orlando's going to have to try to get back on track against Birmingham in Week 5 as well. We'll see. Austin Recca wanted to punt it away for the 3rd time today. He will boot it. It's not a good one. Fair catch by Jalen Marshall at 23. So, under 4 minutes to play, and we've got just a little bit of time right now for Garrett Gilbert and his squad. 1st and 10 coming up. Maybe they can try to just get one more score or something. Marshall in motion. Back to throw. Gilbert lets it go. It's caught by a Marshall. Actually, no, Johnson. Up to the 26. 2nd and 6 as time continues to run. But yeah, I mean, this has just been lopsided from the get-go, and we go back to Orlando, who had a couple nice drives there, unable to put points on the board, and that's just where it all went downhill. 2nd and 6 from the 26. Gilbert back to throw. Same play, same design. This time is Sean Price. Little shallow cross. Takes it to 32. And they've got themselves at a 3rd and 1 as we're under 3 minutes to play. What a shocker, though. I mean, I said that before, but 32-8? And I was expecting... I think we were all expecting coming into this game that we knew it was just going to be like a back-and-forth game. But Salt Lake dominated today. And again, they definitely showed that they're the best team in this league. Without a question. Quick pump fake. Nice block picked up. Gilbert lets it fly. It's caught. Sean Price. 1st down to the 49. Nice pickup. And they'll most likely take us a 2-minute warning. Sean Price had himself a pretty decent day despite the lack of offense that we've seen from Orlando. Then again, it's a lack of scoring, which is exactly what we talked about coming into this game. Orlando had to figure out how to finish drives and score points. They put up a lot of yards. They put up some nice 1st down conversions. It's just they can't find a way to score when they need to. And we'll see. I don't think we're going to get to see another play here before. No. 2 minutes left to play. 32-8. Salt Lake just continues to dominate in these games. 38-6, 28-14, 15-9, and now they're winning 32-8. I don't think their offense is going to beat San Diego, who scored 40 last week. They hold the record for the amount of points scored in a game. But still, 32, impressive showing by that offense. And the defense, Will Davis, who had the pick 6. Gilbert motions out Johnston. Quick pass, it's caught. Chris Thompson to the 43. Thompson's had a couple nice catches today. Brings up 2nd and 4. Yeah, he's got 57 yards for himself, so not too bad there. But yeah, I mean, this is just bad for Orlando. Dropping the 2 and 2. Not what we expected from a team that's supposed to be a powerhouse. 2nd and 4. Back to throw is Gilbert. Checks it down and dangerous. Actually, no, Banderas was all over that one. 3rd and 4 now from the 43. Minute and a half left in this ball game. See what the play call is from Steve Spurrier here. Probably the last drive for Orlando if they can't. Well, it is either way, but see if they can convert. Quick pass, and it's dropped. Huge hit. Dearness Johnson couldn't hang on. It brings up 4th and 4, and I'd expect Orlando probably just to punt this away. He has possession. I'm surprised it's not a fumble, but what a hit from Greer Martini. And yes, Ben Turk will be out there for the punt, as Orlando is holding up their white flag. It's a fake! The fullback Ryan Green takes it, and it goes absolutely nowhere. That just kind of sums up this game perfectly for Orlando. Man. Joe Bunyan having a nice day. Well, that goes nowhere, and it's going to set up 1st and 10 from their own 42, and Salt Lake can just run out the clock, and I hope Orlando doesn't even bother to use their timeout so we can just kind of finish things up here. What a game. What a statement from Salt Lake, though. Woodrum tries to take it himself. Goes nowhere. That's a loss of 1. 2nd and 11 now. Nice play from Reggie Northrup. Interesting play call from Salt Lake. I don't know why you would do a QB run with a minute in the game. Time ticking down, and yeah, I mean, from the offense, the running game, and then Woodrum heating up here in the second half to the defense, who just played locked down this entire game. And what in the world? Why are they throwing the football? But again, yeah, I mean, it's just been all around a very complete game from Salt Lake, and they should be proud of themselves and dominating Orlando here at home before they go on the road next week to play in San Diego, which will be a big divisional matchup. And now they go on the ground. It's Bunyan who gets to the 48. And that should run us down. 4th and 4. They don't need to run another play. Orlando's not going to use a timeout. We'll probably expect to see them punt it anyways. What a game for Salt Lake. And Orlando's dropping to 500 now. They're going to have to find a way to turn this around really, really quickly. Austin Recco to punt it. Down to... They will punt it. And it goes out of bounds. And that should do it. It does. Salt Lake 4-0. They stay undefeated with a statement win over the Orlando Apollos, who are now 2-2 on the season. 32-8 is the final score. Player of the game should certainly be that guy, Will Davis. The pick 6, another interception. He was phenomenal today, shutting down Garrett Gilbert, and the whole defense played a great game. What a win in Salt Lake for the Stallions. 4-0, undefeated. And that will do it for us here at the AAF Simulated. Thank you guys for watching. If you're a Salt Lake fan, you must have loved this one. If you're an Orlando fan, you got to be like, what the heck, James? Why is Orlando 2-2? But again, remember, guys, this is a brand new season. We can't completely simulate how everything went down in the season. But big win for Salt Lake. Make sure you go follow us on Twitter if you don't already. Get all the big important news, updates, polls. We run those, and we ran a couple this past week on who should start and who shouldn't for certain teams. If you guys want to make your voice be heard, go ahead and do that. And also check out the AAF sheets down in the description below, where you get access to game stats, seasons, the season stats, individual player stats, the standings, so much more. And again, if you guys feel like financially supporting us by getting merch or just sending us a few bucks, it'd be greatly appreciated. So that'll do it for us. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next game.